In this guide, you'll learn how permissions work in Starbrix and how they help you manage what each member can view, update, and create. Permissions are important because they make collaboration secure and well-organized. Each person in your organization should be able to do exactly what they need, not more and not less. Permissions help both organization managers and project managers control this in a clear, structured way. Organization managers can define default permissions for everyone, and project managers can fine-tune what members are allowed to do in their specific projects. Let's start at the organization level. First, deselect any resource in the upper left corner so you're viewing the whole organization. Then go to Settings, and under the General tab, scroll down to Default Permissions. Here you'll find the default setup for your organization. In most cases, the Starbrix defaults work perfectly, so you don't need to change anything. But let's take a look at what's available. There are two types of members in Starbrix: standard members and limited members. When you add someone, you choose which type they are. For each type, you can define default permissions: who can view or manage customers and suppliers, who can create workspaces, who can add members, and what access members have to projects, tasks, calendar events, and to-dos. Let's open standard member permissions first. Here you see all the permission categories: customer permissions, supplier permissions, workspace permissions, member permissions, project permissions, task permissions, calendar event permissions, to-do permissions, and organization permissions. Now, let's look at limited member permissions. The structure is the same, but by default, the rights are more restricted. You can, of course, adjust them if needed. Below these, you'll also find permission sets for project managers, project participants, task managers, and task participants. Each of these defines what a person can do when they're assigned one of those roles. For example, when you add someone as a project manager, they automatically receive the project manager permissions. If you add them as a participant, they'll receive participant permissions. And if you later change a setting here, for instance, giving task participants the right to update task status, that change will apply to new assignments. If you want to apply the update to all existing projects and tasks as well, just click Apply to All. Now, let's see how this works in practice. In Members, you can manage permissions for any individual. Select one or several members, then click Manage Permissions in the upper left corner. Here you can see exactly what each person is allowed to do. For example, if I want Maria Dimitrova to be able to add new members to the organization, I simply turn that permission on, and she'll immediately have access to that function. When you invite a new member, click Add Member, fill in their name and email, and choose whether they're a standard or limited member. You can also copy permissions from an existing member or customize them directly before sending the invitation. For limited members, you can even control which customers, suppliers, and their related projects they can access. That's useful for external partners, suppliers, or subcontractors who should only see specific parts of your data. Let's now open a project and see permissions there. In the upper right menu, choose Project Settings, then Permissions. Here you can see everyone involved and what they can do. For example, if I click on Sofia Novak's permissions, I can adjust them directly from here. If I now make Sofia the project manager, you'll see her permissions expand. She now has full control of the project. So the permissions automatically adapt to each person's role: project manager, participant, task manager, or task participant. And one more detail: before a project manager has been added, the project creator temporarily has project manager permissions. As soon as you assign a real project manager, the creator's permissions are adjusted accordingly. The same logic applies to tasks. If you open a task, go to the upper right menu, and choose Manage Permissions, you'll see all members listed and what they can do in this specific task. Again, task permissions depend on the person's role in the project. To summarize, Starbrix permissions define what every member can view and do across the organization, in projects, and in tasks. Default permissions make things run smoothly for most organizations, but you always have the flexibility to fine-tune them when needed. This ensures that everyone has exactly the access they need. Nothing more, nothing less. Keeping your projects organized, secure, and efficient.